We're looking at the website for rtd-denver. You can see it down here. What the website is, rtd-denver.com. And I've been writing RTD since 1989. And in 2012, I became disabled in a wheelchair and started to realize that RTD really stood for Real Tough for Disabilities. Let me just show you one example. I'm at a website that's called, a specific section of their website that's called Fares and Passes, Fares-Passes. Now, I ride Accessoride. It's called paratransit, and according to the ADA from 1990, paratransit is supposed to be treated one and the same as fixed route. There should be no distinguishing features other than, the fact that it's a shuttle that goes door to door. Now, on this web page, we can see some of the ways that RTD discriminates. Real Tough for Disabilities, RTD. These are the different ways that you can pay, but only on fixed route. You can't pay all these ways on paratransit. Now, here are the fare prices. Local, regional, and airport. Wait a minute. There's no paratransit here. And I looked through it carefully. I have a hard time reading, so I have to read it again, carefully looking. Did I miss something? Yeah, the ADA says paratransit is to be treated one and the same. If it's not, it's called discrimination against people with disabilities. So there's nothing even down. Wait a minute. Discount, tiny little text. Younger fares, adult. Yeah, there's nothing there. Pick the fare product that's right for you. Okay, well, I ride Accessoride. So this table doesn't help me. Rail fares, rail is like fixed route. In terms of services. So I can download. Am I at the end? No, my scroll bar says that there should be more. Additional fare information. There are no refunds. Somebody pretty high up at RTD told me that the fares, the tickets that you buy for Accessoride and other services that expire every year, which is just, to me, a waste of money, that they were extended for a year. So 10 ride tickets, King Supers, Accessoride. So this section, additional fare information. Do you see how Accessoride is just tucked away? Why do they do this? Well, because there's a culture within RTD that makes it real tough for disabilities. There's seems to be nobody in the Civil Rights Department nor in the Accessoride Department that makes sure that paratransit is treated one and the same. Telling the IT folks, hey, Accessoride needs to be top and included, not stuffed within something of blah, 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 blah. So it's just one small example, but there are just so many ways that RTD has been discriminating against people with disabilities. And the odd thing is, RTD has boasted for years that they were the first entity to have all their buses with lifts and wheelchair space. Fast forward to 2021, and it's still a lie. First of all, they didn't wake up one day and say, hey, we want to serve people with disabilities. That was a big, huge fight. Look up the gang of 19 or 18, or I forget things. It was here in Denver that battle was fought. But in 2021, they still have a bus, the 3900 series, which myself and some other advocates have been reporting to RTD for year after year after year after year, that the 3900 series bus is not following the ADA. Therefore, it doesn't matter if the bus has a lift or a ramp. If there's no proper space for a person in a wheelchair or to the elderly and disabled that don't use wheelchairs, then the bus is breaking the ADA. So in this video, I've reviewed 3 ways that RTD is treating people with disabilities different. One is on their fare page, their fare structures. I've shown that, well, they don't give us all these options to pay our fares on Access-a-Ride. And then within the fare prices, we're not listed. And then I gave a little discussion about how, number 3, their bus fleet is not fully accessible to people with disabilities. I sure do things would change at RTD within the Civil Rights Department and with the Paratransit Department. And the culture at RTD that seems to mostly neglect, but in the meetings I've had with RTD for 9 years now, there are people at RTD that are actually really adverse to anybody who has a disability. I've watched people literally cry sitting in meetings with RTD because of their discrimination. If you're blind and you're invited to be part of a committee, for years I've watched people just be so upset. I guess this is reason number 4. Saying, you've invited me to this meeting and yet you hand out a piece of paper. You have access to a Braille printer. Hello? So that's why the culture at RTD needs to change, and it needs to be top down. The Civil Rights Department leaders, I think they just need to go, and we need to find people who understand civil rights across the board.